Okay, guys, to start off this lesson, we're going to be talking about themes. And themes are the meaning behind what the story is about, or what it could mean and how it can affect the story. So, for today's story, Othello, we will be reading it or continuing on reading it. But I'm going to pass out these note cards, and y'all are going to write down your own meaning, and I will be joining y'all. So, here y'all go. And y'all can just flip to the side where the lines are and write down the question, what is a theme? So will we be doing that? And just write whatever comes to mind and how it can connect to the story of Othello, or just what a theme is in general. Okay? So I'll be writing down what is a theme. Okay. And I'll give you guys like 30 more seconds. Okay. And what can you tell me what a theme is? That is true. A theme is the meaning of a story, like you said. That's exactly what I wrote down here. And it basically can correlate to many different characters, like Othello or Iago. They both have jealousy issues and mistrust issues with their women because one character, Iago, likes to control his woman and wants her to do everything that he says, and Othello is hearing all of these rumors from Iago and other characters that his wife is being unfaithful, and this makes him mistrust her and makes him do horrible things towards the end. And that also goes along with why the note cards are here, because I want y'all to have a clear meaning. And now, can you write down some themes that you can think of that are going on in the story, like love, jealousy, things like that? Just come up with 3, and I'll be doing this with y'all as well. And this will correlate to the story so far in Othello, like what we've read, what we've seen, what the characters are doing to each other. Okay? So just write down 3. And if any more come to mind, y'all can write those down as well. Okay. Okay. So guys, what did y'all write down? Oh, I see a red card. And what are you confused about, or not get, just what do you need help with? How does the themes go with the characters? Well, the ones I wrote down are jealousy, hatred, and lust. Jealousy and hatred can go both to Iago because, as we've seen, he is jealous that Othello has the higher authority than him and was promoted before him, and he thought that he deserved this promotion because he worked the best, but Othello, in his eyes, was his enemy. He wanted to destroy him, and his wife was just a part of it. And the other one was lust. Everyone is lusting after each other, and Iago's wife Emilia is making it harder because she is a part of it. She is Iago's wife, and she is forced to make it seem like Desdemona is cheating on Othello with plenty of other men. And how does Emilia do this, please? Yes. She brings Othello her scarf that she dropped, but Emilia had told Othello that it was given to her by another man. Okay, and so towards the end of the story, since we're now in Act 5, we have seen the downfall, how Othello went from not believing anything that was being told of him to just getting downright angry and frustrated that his wife would do this to him, and just not wanting to do anything with her. So in Act 5, Iago is very prominent in it, and we see that he wants kill Othello. Like, he wants to murder him. But if y'all could follow me in y'all Shakespeare's book, everyone should have this out. And also, y'all can have y'all cards right next to y'all if y'all want to write down some extra notes. And if y'all need any extra note cards, they'll be up here. Y'all can just come grab them if y'all need them before we start really deep diving into it. But when we first get into the scene, we see Desdemona praying because she's about to go to sleep. And in walks Othello, and he's confronting her about the rumors. How could you cheat on me? How could you do this to us? You were supposed to be my bride. You're supposed to wait for me. We were supposed to consummate the marriage. And Desdemona is trying to prove her point that she was never unfaithful, that everything everyone's saying is a lie, and they're not supposed to be doing this. But as we can see, Othello smothers Desdemona. Did anyone pick up on that? No, y'all didn't. It's because we just think that they're going to have a regular conversation and nothing's going to go on between them except for some light arguing. This came out as a surprise because they didn't see this coming. And then all the other characters, Emilia, Iago, everyone just starts coming in, and Othello blames Iago outright. But what do y'all think would happen when someone is confronted about what they've done but do not want to admit to it or admit their fault or they were even involved in it? Yes, they react. And Iago's reaction was to start stabbing everybody. He stabbed Othello. He stabbed his own wife, Ricardo. He starts stabbing everybody in the room. He ends up killing his own wife because he just needed to get out the room. And Othello's injuries, as we can see, was not as bad as Emilia's. He ended up stabbing himself because he could not live with what he had done. And another thing is he was so adamant that his wife, in the beginning of the play, we remember, right? That he did not believe it. He didn't want to believe anything. It was all hearsay. He didn't see it. He believed in his love for his wife. But can y'all tell the difference between Othello in the first scene and then him in the fifth act? Yes, there is a difference. It's because he let all the words that Iago and Emilia were telling him to go into his head and mess him up. And that goes along with Iago as well. Because in the beginning, his hatred was just words. In the beginning, he was just planning to do what he was doing. And now, since he acted on them and caused so many people's deaths, he didn't want to take accountability. And that's what I wrote on here as well. He didn't want to take accountability on anything that he was doing. And overall, a lot of people lost their lives that night. How many can you say were either stabbed or injured during this brawl in the bedroom? Yes. 3, exactly. It was Desdemona, Emilia, and Othello. They were all stabbed and killed. Othello's was a self-stabbing, so he self-harmed himself. And this is how the story ends. Like, Othello gives his goodbyes as soon, like, he is currently bleeding out, but he just wants to get his last words out and give everybody his last piece. And so, the themes of death, violence, betrayal, even though betrayal can go 2 ways. Betrayal can be seen from Iago's point of view because he felt betrayed by his leader, the person leading them, because they're all soldiers. They are all soldiers, and he was supposed to be getting the promotion. He could feel betrayed by that. And Othello can feel betrayal because he believed that his wife was with another man. And also Emilia. You're right. I almost missed that one. Emilia can feel betrayed because she was just following the orders of her husband. And y'all guys get that. Like, if a friend betrays you and sits with a person you don't like, how would that make you feel? It would feel pretty horrible, right? Yeah, that's how Emilia felt in that moment. She did not expect her husband to just outright stab her and leave her to die. She was a part of this just like he was, but not a major player. But she was still involved. She just didn't expect it. That's the main part. And Desdemona, most of all, she had done nothing wrong. Throughout this entire story, she had done nothing wrong. These were just words that were being spread around like rumors. Rumors can also destroy someone's livelihood, reputation, and it ruined Desdemona's because her reputation was of Othello's faithful and honest wife. But at the end, Othello was like, you're just an unfaithful whore that sleeps with anybody that comes across you. And that's what caused her demise. But anyway, guys, let's get back to it, okay? And I want you guys to find, on this front piece where it's blank, I want you to find pieces of evidence that are related to the themes that you wrote down. But if you want to add more themes like betrayal, love, hatred, any of the things that I mentioned or that y'all wrote down, y'all can. I just want y'all to find, let's say, 2 pieces of evidence that can be used, and you have to use the right citations. So it would be 5.2 and then the line numbers. So it could be 25 to 30. And this is how you would write it down, because that'll let me know where in the story that you got the quotes from, and you're not just outright taking words from the story and not paraphrasing it, because that would be bad and you would get an automatic 0 on your test. No one wants that, right? Exactly. So just make sure y'all do this, and towards the end, I want y'all to write down how this impacted you. And if you see any of these themes, like in the everyday life, like, have you ever been betrayed by somebody? Would it have been a girlfriend, your parents, your dearest friends? Just write it all down in your journals. This will be personal, and if you want to share them with me, they would only be with me, and I can give you my feedback, and you would get my advice on how this really happened to you and if it related to you in any way. But other than that, I want you to write down the 3 themes, and yeah, that'll be it.